Good evening. Thank you for joining. My name is Greg. I'm with the company called The Hard Knock State. We are a sales training and coaching company, and I'm also a licensee for Grant Cardone. I wanted to come to you with my New Year's hangover special. I'm sure some of you may still be in a little bit of, a little bit of a brain fog from New Year's Eve, from the big parties that were thrown. But I got to tell you, I had almost like an epiphany, and I had to come to you with a special that I'm dubbing my uh, New Year's Eve hangover special. And what that is that is my complete sales mastery program. And so that is 12 months of Cardone University with over 800 plus online business training courses. In addition, 4 months, 16 sessions of weekly group coaching. And that is at 1997. It's $1,000 off my regular price, or you can get it for 1664 per day with a 120-day upfront commitment. And if that's not low enough for you, we're also offering $5.47 per day with an upfront 365 day commitment. And so 1997 is the hangover special. And in this 4 months, 16 sessions of weekly group coaching, we're going to go over 9 10x sales professional courses, including one that I'm going to be covering tonight. And that's how to maximize every sales opportunity. So I'm going to give you this material tonight in hopes that you can see that I'm being of service to you, and you can see that it's all about giving, 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 and hopefully you'll reciprocate the favor and sign up for my complete sales mastery class. And so with that, uh, this is it. You go to thehardknockstate.com and you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, all the way to the bottom of the site. And then in the lower right hand corner on my products section, you'll see the complete sales mastery. And so that's the 12-month access to Cardone University with over 800 business training and sales training courses. In addition, 4 months, 16 weekly group training and coaching sessions. And what we're going to be kicking off tonight is how to maximize every sales opportunity. And so, with that, I would say let's just hop right into it. So, if you don't know who Grant Cardone is, Grant Cardone is an internationally renowned speaker on leadership, estate investing, entrepreneurship, social media, and finance. Number one on Forbes' list of the top 25 marketing influencers to watch, author of several best selling books, and owner of 7 privately held companies with annual revenues well exceeding $100 million. So, what we're going to cover tonight, and by the time this live stream is over, you're going to have some knowledge to get out of the hangover special, get out of the hard knock state to where you can immediately implement this information tomorrow when you have to go into work. If you're a sales professional and you're struggling a little bit, let's say you've been in sales for some time, you're kind of at that intermediate level, and you keep running into a barrier over and over and over again, and you don't know how to get past that, but you know that only a 2, 3, maybe 4 extra deals per month, if you could do that consistently, will mean a complete lifestyle change for you and your family. Or maybe you're thinking about getting into sales, getting into the sales industry. You've been in another industry up until now, and after 2022, you're kind of thinking it's probably time for a change. Maybe you're pushing that age limit to where you're in a hard laborious industry, like construction, whether maybe you're in concrete, maybe you're a framer, maybe you're doing iron work, and maybe your body just can't physically handle the abuse day after day after day. And you've always thought that you could talk to people easily, and you could persuade your ideas and your opinions to them where it comes across simple and easy. And you thought, hey, maybe I'd be good at sales. But then again, you don't want to leave the comforts of the income that you're used to. Well, the good news is in sales, sales is a trade, sales is a skill, just like any other trade or skill. And just like learning how to become a concrete mason, just like learning to become a finished carpenter or a carpenter or a framer, just like becoming an iron worker. That's a trade that you had to learn, no different than an electrician or a plumber. And with the sales industry, you could use your mind instead of your body, your mind in your mouth instead of your body in your hands. And it's a lot better when you come home at the end of the day and your lower back's not hurting. And so, with that, there's no special schooling in most cases that is required to become a sales professional. Uh, I know a lot of times it's very frustrating. We're looking through job postings on a website and we think we're a right candidate, we're a right fit for that job. And then we look a little closer and we need a special degree or we need more schooling than what we have underneath our belt. So, selling, in most cases, your earning income is unlimited. And most sales organizations do not cap your earning limit. They don't put a cap on what you can earn every single day, every single month, and every single year. And that's the beautiful thing about it. And if going through my complete sales mastery class with the 12 months of Cardone University, that's over 800 online video courses and 4 months, 16 sessions of my weekly group Zoom training and coaching sessions. Going through that and covering these 9 courses of the 10x sales professional topics that we go over each and every single week. At the end of the 4 months, heck, by the end of 90 days, you'll be able to hit the ground running, or you'll be back up to the top performer status that you used to be a long time ago. And so it's my job to help you. And so I've been in automotive sales. I've been a sales professional for over 20 years. I've been over 30 years in business. I've climbed the ladder in 2 different industries. One with the grocery and produce segment or industry, and the other with direct sales, retail commission sales. I got to tell you, the sales industry, and when I've really figured out what everything I know today, when I really figured out that there's a process that goes behind making a sale, just like there's a process that goes behind building a house. When that clicked and I really figured it out, my career shot through the roof, and I have never looked back since. And so I'm going to explain a little bit more how that came about, but it's due to this material that I'm going to start covering with you tonight. And hopefully you'll take advantage of a $1,000 savings right now for my complete sales mastery program. And so with that, we're going to teach you the understanding of how attitude impacts every single element of the sales cycle, from prospecting to closing and beyond. You're going to discover the first rule of selling. You're going to learn 3-word phrase that will definitely define your ability to sell. You're going to discover why price is rarely the issue of why customers don't buy your product or your service, and what is really holding up the sale. We're going to introduce you to some of the important counterintuitive truths behind selling, things that you thought you knew were to be true and just aren't the case. The Cardone active approach to learning is we want to watch and we want to listen actively. You want to take notes by hand. Studies have shown, there's university studies have shown that people will retain information more if they're physically putting a pen to a pad of paper and taking notes by hand. When we get into our weekly group coaching Zoom sessions, we want to participate. And so there's going to be, at the end of each session, there'll be a question and answer, or I might break up the class in between the session to have you quickly jot down some notes and participate on the on the topic of these 10x sales professional courses that we're covering. We want to have a commit to teaching, and you want to have a commit to learning at least one thing today that you could go out and you could teach somebody else, that you can implement right away. We want you to have the understanding of this one topic, this one idea, be at the end of each weekly group coaching session. So you can go out into the marketplace, so you can go back to your job and you can take this information and implement it right away. So attitude is the first step, and a great attitude is worth more than a great product. People are moved more by a positive and confident people than by any great product. A person who can make someone feel good can sell just about anything. And when we want to sell ethically and honestly, and we want to be transparent with what we sell. A positive attitude is 1,000 times more important than the product you're selling. And when something makes you feel good, you want more of it. When that ice cream on a very hot day, that ice cream cone makes you feel cool and refreshed. Maybe you got a single scoop, you ate the whole thing, you wish you had 2 scoops. Well, that's the same thing with a great attitude. We want to treat everybody we come across like millionaires. If you want to be a millionaire, you got to treat everybody you meet like becoming a millionaire. And this is something we got to get driven down into the middle of our brain. People you think are broke or won't buy, don't prejudge people. And no matter who you come across, no matter what your first opinion is of them, we need to treat them like millionaires. And so how you act towards others will be how they act towards you. Your daily attitude, your product can be replaced, but a great attitude cannot. Even when you have negative people around you, you want to remain positive at all cases, and you'll win the other people over. You'll change the actual vibe of that group of those people that are being negative, just by you being positive and being more upbeat and kind of being a shining light, if you will. You'll actually change other people's mood, and they'll want to hang around and talk to you more than the other people, just simply of being positive. So you want to fill your attitude with positivity. And like I said, it's contagious. Attitudes are contagious either way. It's either good, positive attitudes or negative, the bad, ugly, negative attitudes. So we want to remain positive at all times. When attitudes are contagious, whether they're good, bad, ugly, or positive, attitudes are the #1 tool in your organization that will enable you to be sustainable and solvent. And so nothing is more true than that. So no matter what you see going on in the news, no matter what's going on outside of your place of business or how you conduct business, we have to understand that our attitude comes above anything else. We need to block all that other garbage to the side. We need to leave it at the curb, and we need to put our positive thinking cap on, if you will. We need to put our shield of positivity and our helmet of positivity on each and every day and each and every minute. And the impact of the environment. You're a product of your environment and everything that surrounds you in it. So with being positive, you want to make sure we block out and don't allow any of the negative into us. Your environment has an effect, a direct effect on your ability to sell. When you're positive, other people will follow your lead. And you want to protect yourself against those who are being negative. And so you need to actually call these people out. If you're at work and you sit next to a guy, or you work next to a guy and he's on your shift, or let's say he's working at the cubicle next to you, and you every day you just dread going in because of his negative attitude. Well, you need to tell him to stop it, and you need to let him know how that's affecting your production at work. He'll sit back and he'll think about that, and he'll change his ways. So not only do we need to protect yourself or protect ourselves from negative people and negative environments, we need to make the commitment that there will be no negativity ever. Period. End of story. Hang a sign up if you need to. So, tips to have a great attitude. We want to avoid newspapers, televisions, and radio. That does not mean that we're going to, just pull the plug and disconnect from everybody and everything. That means we don't have to study the newspapers, the television, and the radio. Even in today's world, our smartphones or our tablets. They say more people today, when the first thing they do when they wake up in the morning, the very first thing they do is they look at their cell phone, and they're seeing what notifications that come in over the night. In addition to that, they're seeing news notifications. They're seeing, whatever podcast they listen to, notifications come over, and all of that starts the cycle. So we want to start our day off without reading the newspaper, without reading the world gossip, and stay away from people that can't do people, the victimized people, the people that there's always a reason why they can't get ahead in life. There's always a reason why they got passed over for the promotion. There's always a reason why everything is against them and the world is not on their side. We need to create alignment with other positive people in the world, the can-doers, the go-getters. You want to create an alignment with these other people. We need to keep clean. We need to keep our appearance clean. We need to make sure we're kept in good personal hygiene. Our teeth are brushed, our hair is combed. We want to make sure there's no dirt underneath our fingernails in the sales industry. Our hands are clean, our clothes are pressed, and we look professional above anything else. We want to try to stay away from hospitals and doctors if it's all possible. This is a tip. You can take it or leave it, but hospitals are sick factories, and so many ailments are psychosomatic. It's just and if negativity, if attitudes are contagious, and positive attitudes and negative attitudes are contagious, and everybody's sick in a hospital, when it just makes sense to stay away if you're not sick. Treat all negative talk like garbage. You hit that trash can, dump that trash can, take it to the curb, and let the Mr. Negative garbage man come pick it up once a week or every day. And do the negativity diet. Try the negativity diet for 24 hours. What is the negativity diet? The negativity diet is no negative thoughts, talk, or actions for a full 24-hour period, or you have to restart the clock. And give that a shot. I guarantee you it's harder than what it sounds. And if you think this sounds easy, give it a shot. And when 6 o'clock, when the alarm goes off at 6 o'clock in the morning and you got to get up and you're on the negativity diet, let's see if you can make it an hour. If you don't make it an hour, or the first time you mutter a negative word or think a negative thought or have a less than pleasant morning altercation with your son or your daughter and having them get ready for school, you got to start that clock over again. When you commit to these changes and start paying attention, you're going to have a major wake-up moment. And once awake, a person will become aware and can start making changes. When you realize the things that you've been doing wrong up until now, if you're in sales, or if maybe you're thinking about getting into sales, and you remember a situation where you were the customer buying something and you would have bought that product only if the salesperson hadn't screwed it up. If the salesperson would have had to been a sales professional versus somebody just shooting for the hip and anything but professional. If they hadn't screwed it up, how different would have that experience at that store been for you? So be aware of where you're at in the moment of every sale. And it was once said to me, try seeing yourself as others see, in the eyes of how others see you. And if you could do that, you'll see things that you've been doing probably aren't the best way to keep going about doing it. So the magic of agreement, the first rule of selling is to always agree with the customer. Always, always, always agree with the customer. This does not mean that the customer is always right, nor does this mean that you have to just agree with the customer and you're going to get a sale. Look, it takes two people to have a disagreement. It takes one person to stop that disagreement. And once one person stops disagreeing and agrees, then people can carry on and have a very logical conversation. And you know the customer is wrong, and you would still need to agree with them. You need to get that. You need to. We need not only do we need to keep a positive attitude, but we need to always have this, just like we know it like the back of our hand. The customer may be wrong, but we still need to agree with them. And we can easily do that by like, hey, look, I could see your point of view on that. Hey, I agree with how your point of view is seeing that situation or that circumstance. Because people who agree move toward one another. People who disagree are like water and oil. They are polar opposites. They move apart from one another. Agree, acknowledge, and make the other party right for their thoughts, their ideas, and their beliefs, and then close the deal. You don't want to be right. Remember, you want something sold. You want to make a sale. You don't have to. And this right here, a positive attitude and agreeing with the customer will always supersede knowledge. And so the guy who is the know-it-all, the guy who has to be right, the salesperson who has to be right, has to know every little thing about everything, and has to make each customer understand how much he knows. They're probably not making very many sales. So the agreement challenge, practice handling other people with agreement first. And so try to agree with everyone you talk to for one 24-hour period. And so this is similar to the no negativity diet. But if you could do the no negativity diet and do the agreement challenge for 24 hours, you'll find yourself, you'll learn a lot about yourself, and you'll learn how much negative thoughts and how much we disagree with other people is actually instilled into us. So agree and then offer the buyer an opportunity to find his or her own solution before you start trying to fix something that may not even be an issue. The agreement drill. Establish a basic agreement at the beginning. This creates an opportunity to help the buyer purchase your product or your service. Tell the prospect about your product, about yourself, and later about your company. Use the agreement vocabulary. That's right. There's special language that goes along with the agreement and with being agreeable. And these phrases are such as, you're right, I agree, I'll work it out, I understand, I'll make it happen, done. Right? Try that again. You're right, I agree, I'll work it out, I understand, I'll make it happen, done. And if we can always do that, we can overcome so many different objections out there. In fact, we'll eliminate objections just by agreeing and being the most positive person that customer or potential buyer has run into that day. Trust is critical to the sale. When you create trust, you increase your effectiveness. Distrust in a sales cycle is not the buyer's problem, it's your problem. A professional salesperson understands what is going on in the mind of the customer. So, in review, trust is critical. If you don't get the sale, you're not trusted. And every decision is a decision. A customer's decision not to buy a product is a decision that they've made. And your decision not to keep pushing for the sale, and not in your decision not to offer a higher level of service than the guy down the street, and a higher level of service that you've ever provided before. Making that decision is also making a decision. So customers don't make sales, salespeople make sales. Understand the mind of the customer. Take responsibility for both the selling and the buying. and manage the entire transaction. Get the job done, whatever it takes. I remember I was about 10 years ago, and before I really grasped the concept and took the deep dive into Grant Cardone's training material, before I individually personally signed up, this is many years before I became a licensee. In fact, this is pushing 10 years now, maybe a little bit over 10 years ago. I remember I was walking into a sales meeting, and I was being handed my paycheck as I walked into the meeting room. And there's a bunch of chairs that are set up with a whiteboard in the background, kind of similar to this with chairs. And I'm walking up to where I normally take my seat. I sit down, I open my paycheck, my face turned bright red. I slumped into my chair trying to hide. I was looking at my paycheck and thinking about my children, my two kids, and thinking about how I was going to keep the lights on. And then I heard it. Hey, Greg, I was being called out by the sales manager to tell the entire sales department how many sales I had for the month, or more like didn't have. I was embarrassed. I was demotivated, and the rest of my performance for the weekend was shot. And the worst thing about it, when I got home that night, my wife greeted me at the door and it told me our water had been turned off. So if you're in sales right now, and if you're living paycheck to paycheck, 70% of all US Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And 64% of US Americans have zero money in savings. And this is even more of a staggering statistic, but 47% of US Americans don't have $400 set aside for an emergency fund. And so if you're just average, and that's the typical people, that's 76%. The average people, the middle class, most people are operating at average levels. And I got to tell you, if you could just make 3 deals more a month than what you've been currently making, you'll stop living paycheck to paycheck. And you will start, you'll be in a completely different lifestyle. Look, another $1,000 a month, another $1,500 a month, another $2,000 a month would make a complete difference in most cases for 76% of us out there. And with that, I have on sale right now for the new year. This runs through January 31st, my complete sales mastery. And with it, you're going to get 12 months of Cardone University. That's over 800 online video, business training video courses. Cardone University, if you've heard of Cardone University, maybe you've seen something on the internet or on YouTube about Cardone University, maybe you know somebody who's signed up for Cardone University. Maybe this is your first time hearing about Cardone University. Cardone University is the #1 online business training platform in the world. There's been over 1 billion courses taken, and there's over 400,000 active users. You'll learn topics like cold calling, prospecting, phone sales, okay, closing and negotiating, right, and much more, okay? Companies as large as Google, Facebook, Audible, Salesforce, Ford, Honda, Chrysler, BMW, and the US Army have their people trained on Cardone University. And so you're going to get a 12-month access to Cardone University, plus you're going to get 4 months, that's 16 weekly group Zoom coaching and training sessions, where we'll be covering 9 10X Sales Professional courses, Grant Cardone's 10X Sales Professional courses, including the one that we're learning right now, which is how to maximize every sales opportunity. And so all that could be yours, all that could be yours for as low as $5.47 per day, with an upfront 365-day commitment. So it's $19.97 through January 31st, and that's $1,000 savings. If you want to look at it this way, if it's $16.64 per day with an upfront 120-day commitment, and that is $19.97. So you can go to the Hard Knock State thehardknockstate.com. And we are, if you're thinking about a career in sales and you live in Western Washington, we are hiring sales professionals for territories in Western Washington. And all you have to do is go to thehardknockstate.com. You can chat with us on our website chat. You can call us at 360-615-2070. You can scroll all the way to the bottom of the page and hit the Contact Us Now button and email us directly and let us know if you have any questions. We do offer a free 15 minutes sales springboard coaching session. But if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the website page, at the very bottom of my product section, and on the right-hand side, you click on the Complete Sales Mastery. That's 12 months of access of Cardone University and 4 months, 16 weekly virtual group sessions for $19.97, a savings of $1,000. So you can figure it as $5.47 per day, but you have to come up with the upfront cost of 365 days. And so $19.97, we take all major credit cards. And I got to tell you, customers don't make sales. Salespeople make sales. Salespeople make sales. Understanding the mind of the customer and taking responsibility for both the selling and the buying. This is what we need to do as a sales professional. As a 10X sales professional, we need to take responsibility for both the selling of our product and our customer buying our product. Success is our duty, our responsibility, and our obligation. And if we're going to take responsibility for all the sales we made, we also have to take responsibility for the sales that we don't make. We need to manage the entire transaction, no matter what the outcome is, good or bad. We need to get the job done, whatever it takes. The only thing buyers should have to do when they come to your company, when they come into your showroom, your office, or your store, is hand you money and take their product and service home. The transaction and the sales process should be that easy. People just don't drive. And when gas is $4 plus a gallon, $6 a gallon if you're in California, people just aren't driving from store to store anymore. People aren't people are going out to buy furniture, when they're going out to buy major appliances, when they're going out to buy a jacuzzi or a spa, when they're going out to buy a car, they don't drive around from dealership to dealership. Nobody is wasting $4 to $5 a gallon of gas driving from store to store. In fact, when a consumer walks into your store, they've done 40 hours of research typically. They've done 40 hours of research on the product or service that you have to offer. So realistically, the transaction should be as simple as taking the customer's money and delivering them the product or the service that they came in for. But too many times, the sales professional didn't do the job properly, didn't follow a set process, and they blew the sale. So credibility increases sales. Get people confident in you. Get people confident in what you're saying. Get people confident in feeling comfortable around you, and you'll build trust. Someone can trust you, but not find you credible because they're not confident in you. So there's three major reasons why people aren't buying a product or a service. And they may trust what you're saying, okay, but they may not find you credible. When a buyer doesn't believe in you, you're probably just not going to make the sale. And we need to have that understanding. We need to know that everything there is to know about the industry that we're working in. So when I was in automotive sales, I had to learn everything about the product and the line that the manufacturer that I was selling for. And I better know more about my product than my own competition selling the same product 10 miles down the street. And not only did I have to know everything about my industry and my field and my product, I also had to know my competitor's product line, what they had to offer, and why my product was superior. So get to know everything you can. If you want to be a true sales professional, okay, just like being an NFL professional or an NBA professional, okay, those top sports athletes, they're professional for a reason. They know everything about their field and they know it better than 80% of the people out there. People believe what they see, not what they hear. Have your presentation, your proposal, your prices, your information, and data in writing. Okay, use the data evidence to support what it is that you're saying. Use the evidence to support your claims. Use the written word to build credibility. So you will become more credible not only when you're speaking the words, but when you're also showing the words, showing your customer exactly what it is that you're trying to explain to them and to sell them. Use third-party data to validate as much as you can. Write down features and benefits that your product or service comes with and back them up with third-party validation. Show them proof, statistics, and success stories from other people who have brought in your product, your service, or have done business with you. Keep an evidence manual of facts, stories, success stories, and written testimonials from customers who not only you've done business with, but that have done business with your brand, your manufacturer, and the company that you work with. Show in writing. Create your own list, your top 10 list of why you're better than your competition. An informed buyer is always better than an informed buyer because an uninformed buyer simply cannot make a decision. And if a buyer is coming into you and they are uninformed, the chances of you making that sale right then and there are very slim because they're going to want to leave to make sure they can go get information to make them an informed buyer. It's as simple as that. So how to build credibility and trust? Never sell with only words. Never negotiate with words. Never ask for the close only with words. Never make verbal promises. And the more data you can offer, the more third-party data you can provide, the better off you'll be. How to build credibility and trust continued? Keep your information current. Make sure your evidence manual, your log is up to date, and you don't have articles in there from 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago. Have your written information easily accessible. In fact, when your potential customer, your client comes into your store, your showroom, or your office, we want to make sure we can provide them information as easy, if not easier, than they can go home and get it themselves on the computer. And that is just by providing third-party data. So we want to use third-party data as much as possible. The more real-time data we can provide our guest, our potential buyer, our customer, or our client, the better off we're all going to be. Use computer-generated data whenever possible. So, the Complete Sales Mastery. For $19.97 through January 31st, you could pick up 12-month access to Cardone University and get over 800 online business training video courses, plus 4 months, 16 weeks of my group Zoom training coaching sessions. You can look at the $19.97 as $16.64 per day with a 120-day upfront commitment, or $5.47 per day with a 365-day upfront commitment. And if you go to thehardknockstate.com, and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, the bottom of the product section, and on the lower right-hand corner, click on the Complete Sales Mastery 12-month access, Cardone U and 14, and add to cart, and just complete your transaction. We'll contact you to set up your Cardone University. And every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, I put on my weekly group coaching session. Well, we'll be covering 9 different 10x sales professional courses, such as how to maximize every sales opportunity, which is the course that we're going over right now. You'll also learn the principles of a top sales producer, how to win more deals faster with less effort, how to get your customer to say yes, part one and part two. This is closing and negotiation. This is a closing and negotiation masterclass. We're also going to learn phone sales mastery, how to master the most valuable tool in your business, and then 10x follow-up, a simple strategy to double your sales. You're also going to get the 10x professional, how to guarantee you earn 10x money and 10x money principles, $1 million strategies to build indestructible wealth. So for 4 months, 16 sessions, we're going to cover all 9 of those 10x sales professional courses. And then we're going to have a Q&A. There's going to be portions where you can interact every single week to get your questions answered. Maybe you're going through a certain situation at your sales company that you're at right now, and you keep running into the same roadblock over and over again. Maybe you keep getting hit with the same sales objections over and over and over again, and you're just struggling. You're left speechless. You really don't know how to overcome them. Well, we can help you every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. In addition, you're going to get 12 months of Cardone University, 24/7 unlimited access. You can log on from any device as long as you have an internet connection or data connection. You could use your cell phone, a tablet. You could use a laptop. You can use the library computer. You have over 800 online business training video courses. And I got to tell you, Cardone University is the #1 business training platform out there. It's used by more massively sized major corporations, Fortune 500 companies, than you'd ever think. Companies as large as Google, as large as Microsoft, as large as Facebook, Audible, BMW, companies like Ashley Furniture, Ford, Honda, companies like Chrysler, okay, Salesforce, even the US Army uses Cardone University to train their people. What is it that the US Army or Google knows about Cardone University that's making you still think whether this is a good deal or not? So for $16.64 a day, you can get daily 24/7 access to 12 months of Cardone University. You can study these courses over and over and over again every day. You can watch as little or as much as you want. There's no limit. Plus 4 months, 16 weekly group Zoom training and coaching sessions for $19.97. It's $1,000 off my regular price. And that is this hangover special with this stupid price. This is going through January 31st. February 1st, the price will go up. You can figure this as $16.64 a day with a 120-day upfront commitment. Or you can get it as low as $5.47 per day with an upfront 365-day commitment. It's $19.97. And with that, I got to tell you, there's a magic of give, give, give. And this is like Merlin with his magic wand. Service is senior to sales. And the more we give, the more we're going to get. And it is, over the past half of a decade, I've spent in sales management for a massive high volume automotive dealership. I coached and I trained hundreds of sales professionals over the past 6 years. And I got to tell you, if a sales associate has only, it's all about me, and it's all about how much money can I wrangle in. It's all about their commission and how they're going to sell a customer instead of being a service to the customer and trying to find out what problem that customer is trying to solve with the use of their product or service. That is the magic of give, give, give. You will sell more just by changing that mindset and that philosophy when you walk into work tomorrow. When you walk into your showroom tomorrow, when you walk into your office tomorrow, or your store tomorrow, when you walk in and sit down at your desk and pick up the phone, if you start that conversation or you start your attitude of picking up that phone with that you're there to provide a service, I guarantee you, you'll make more sales today than what you made yesterday. Selling is the act of giving. It's not just about getting people sold, it's about servicing them to the sale. If you give enough, life sooner or later will give back to you. Give all of you, not part of you, to your customer. Give 110% of everything you have to your customer. Love the one you're with. Show your customer how they're the most important person in your universe at this given time. Focus on what's in front of you and don't get distracted by your smartphone. Don't get distracted by email notifications or social media notifications. Don't get, maybe you put your phone on the silent mode and it's going off in your pocket. Don't reach in and look at it. Pay attention to the person that's in front of you. Remember, love the one you're with. Make a total commitment to the opportunity that's right in front of you. Find a way to improve their life and pay them with your complete attention. So your potential buyer, your prospect, your client, they're coming into your store because you have a product or service that might suit their needs. Find a way to make that product or service of what you have to offer, and find a way to make you as a sales professional more valuable than what they're going to find elsewhere. And put it to them in a way of how you're going to improve their situation and their life. The level of service is everything. Separate yourself from the competition with high levels of service. People will pay more for a great service than they will pay more for a great product. Example, Apple's Genius Bar. Provide a high level of service so outstanding that your clients won't shop your competition, won't comparison shop your product or your service with anybody else. Look, people have done 40 hours of research on the one product service. They're coming into your store, your office, or your showroom, and we want to make it as easy as just taking their money and delivering them their product. Okay, but the only way we're going to do that is by providing higher levels of service than what they're going to find anywhere else. And so when you provide a level of service that's higher than what everybody else is providing, they just automatically forget about the competition down the street. A can of green beans is a can of green beans. And you can go into Walmart and get a can of green beans, or you can go into Whole Foods and get the same can of green beans. Why do people go to Whole Foods and pay a higher price for the same can of green beans than they would by going into Walmart? It's because of the level of service that's provided at the Whole Foods makes it worth them going to Whole Foods to buy that can of green beans for 30, 40, maybe even $1 more per can. But they do it day in and day out because people want to feel good. So how can you create a level of service that separates you from others and separates you from other people that will be equivalent to like Apple's Genius Bar? So how can you create a level of service that separates you from others and that people will pay for? What is your equivalent to Apple's Genius Bar? Brands that have built their business with an elevated level of service. Companies like Apple, American Express, the Ritz-Carlton, Tiffany & Company, and the Four Seasons. Make service senior to selling. Service has got to be senior to selling. You got to go in with a caring approach. You got to ask how you can help or how you can be of service. Not, hey, what's happening? Hey, what are you here for today? How can I help you? You want to be different, okay? And you want to give yourself fully and provide unparalleled levels of service, as I've already mentioned, to anything they're going to experience anywhere else shopping for that product or service. Forget about the competition. Dominate and exceed your competition. And the way you're going to do that, the easiest way, is to provide a higher level of service. We also have to do the hard sell. Now, this is different from high pressure selling. The hard sell is being willing to stay in a transaction and persist through the close. A hard sell status, when you're so convinced in your product or service that it would be a disservice to your customer if you didn't close them on the transaction. If your customer, you need to have this belief in you, you need to have a belief in your company, and you need to have a belief in your product or service that it would be wrong. You would be doing your customer a disservice if they left your store, your showroom, or your office empty handed. If they left your showroom without your product, you've done them a disservice. True professionals are determined to persist, even when it's uncomfortable. Closing is like a recipe. If you change one ingredient, the whole recipe will change. You know how to mess up a cake or mess up a good chocolate chip cookies? Simply change the recipe. Forget to leave something out or put a little bit of too much in. The minute you deviate and you change the process of how to bake a good chocolate chip cookie, you've screwed up the cookie. The more you practice handling objections, the more you will naturally sound. Video yourself to build confidence and then practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. That's how we become a professional. The price myth, it's almost never price. Just like the can of green beans at Walmart or at Whole Foods. Price is not the buyer's biggest concern. As sales professionals, if you've been in the sales industry, if you've been in the sales game for some time, we get very hung up on this, especially if we've been in it, we're a veteran. We can get easily caught up on the price concern. Price is not the buyer's biggest concern. Most sales are lost over objections you never ever hear. And the customer who says nothing to you but refuses to buy your product and leaves, those are typically the hardest people to ever get back, because you've probably made it all about price, and it could have been something as simple as the product that you're trying to close them on didn't have the right features or didn't have the right benefits that they would need in that product or the service. Give buyers reasons to create their own value in their own mind. So when we want to sell, if we're providing a high level of service, automatically that product or service that we're selling, it's going to be worth more to the customer in their eyes. And so we need to give buyers reasons to create value in their own mind. You sell people emotionally, and we close logically. We sell with emotions and we close with logic. Love and solve problems and build confidence. So, if we have the love in our heart and we're out there to be of a service and solve problems, and we have the confidence that we're the right person, this is the right product, and the company is the right place to do business. You have to know the buyer's value, what the buyer values more than the price. And we do this through fact finding. Your buyer can always find someone that will sell a product cheaper. Look, it happens all the time. If you're in a heavy populated metropolitan area and you work for a Ford dealership, I guarantee you there's a Ford dealership 10 minutes in any direction of you, 10 or 20 minutes in any direction of you. So there is a store or two in your area, in your region, that is known for just dropping their price, just to try to capture as much business as they can. But the reason why they do that is because they don't have any game in sales. They don't understand that service is senior to selling, and they're not providing a high level of service to the customers when they walk in the door. So the only thing they could do is default to lowering the price on their product. We all have them, no matter what industry you're in. There's always a company that's known out there in your market that always lowers the price just to capture as much business as possible. But the reality is people want more than the lowest price. Get over we got to get over the price objection. And if we could easily do this by providing just a greater level of service. So how to get over this price objection? Establish that they love the product. Have confidence that you'll solve their problem, and demonstrate why buying from you is uniquely different than buying from anywhere else. Handling others' concerns, handling prices. If your customer is objecting to price, budget, or terms, they may be wondering if this is the right product, if you have the right proposal, if this will truly solve their problems, and what other people will think about them making that decision. A lot of people want to consult with their friends and their family members and their coworkers before they make a major purchase. Heck, even before they make a purchase as small as a cell phone. Many people will consult with other people that they respect, they know and they respect, to get their advice on if their decision is the right decision. Is this something they'll think to themselves? Is this something I'm really going to use and enjoy? Will this company really take care of us and service our needs in the long term? Will they service our needs in the delivery of the product? Will they service the needs a day after? Will they service our needs a week after we bought the product? If something goes wrong, gosh, 25 days from now, are they going to help me out? Or are they going to close the door on me? If you're talking high-end appliances, you sell high-end appliances, you have to know that that is a major concern for people, and why they may walk out and not give you any reason to why they're not buying from you. It's because they may not just have uncertainty with you. They may have uncertainty with the company that you work for. Maybe they've read some bad online reviews in the past about how that company once or twice had a consumer feel that they didn't have their needs, their long-term needs of that product or service taken care of. So it's our job as a sales professional, it's your job as a sales professional to sell them on your company. Remember, we want to be a good steward of the company that we work for. And by being a good steward of the company, it would be wrong, again, for us if we did not tell the customer that we're going to be there for you every step of the way, not only through the delivery of your product, but also throughout the long-term ownership. And if you take pride in being a sales professional, if you want to learn to be a 10x sales professional, and as we're going through these 4 months, these 16 weekly group coaching sessions, as we're going through there, you're going to learn more and more about this. But this can start tomorrow. The day you show up to work tomorrow, you could take a more of a caring approach and start letting your customers know, I'm going to be here for the long term, and I'm going to be here for you. Handling others' concerns with pricing. If your customer is objecting to price, budget, or terms, they also may be wondering if they're better off buying that product somewhere else. Somewhere along the line, they don't have product in the product or the service. They don't have confidence or I believe use the salesperson to be a credible and confident enough to take care of them or the company you're working for. Will something better come out next week? Hey, we all know if you're selling phones or if you're selling technology, this is big for you guys. If you're selling TVs, smartphones, computers, whatever it is, that is a major concern. Hey, am I going to drop $3,000 on this and then tomorrow have the new product come out? Am I going to go spend $2,000 on a new Apple smartphone, the one I've been eyeing for a while now, only for 3 months down the road for the new iPhone to come out? I got to tell you, if you're going to drop $2,000, it would be better to invest in something that you don't have to worry about this, like the Complete Sales Mastery for $19.97. Or we can get that to you. You can have that. You can have the Complete Sales Mastery of 12 months of Cardone University with over 800 online business video training courses and 4 months, 16 weeks of group Zoom training and coaching sessions for as little as $5.47 per day, with an upfront 365-day commitment, or $19.97. And we take all major credit cards at thehardknockstate.com. So if you go to thehardknockstate.com, scroll to the bottom of the website, and at the very bottom right-hand corner of the products page, you'll see the Complete Sales and Mastery, where it's /12 months access to Cardone University. You'll save $1,000 if you do this now. I got to tell you, I can't hold this price this low. This is a stupid price. And this is a price to get you up and get you motivated and get you on track for 2023. Hey, we're in quarter one. The starting gun has already fired and people are running on the track. And so you could be at the same place you were January 31st of 2022, or this can be new beginnings for you. Typically people's top two New Year's resolutions is to lose weight and to make more money. I can help you with number two. I can help you with making more money by having you sign up for my complete sales mastery, have you do daily training on Cardone University, 10 minutes a day. You do 10 minutes of daily training for 12 months on Cardone University, going through these 800 online video courses. And then every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, hop on the weekly group Zoom training calls. And we're going to go over 9 10x sales professional courses like the one we're going over now, which is how to maximize every sales opportunity. And so when we're selling products to our customers, our customers are thinking, do I know enough about this product or service to make a decision? And, I got to tell you, this is a no-brainer. The Cardone University, if you've been around sales or you've been around business for some time, you know about Cardone University, and you know how impactful Cardone University is. I mean, companies as large as Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, Audible, BMW, Ashley Furniture, Ford, Chrysler, Honda, and the U.S. Army, they train their people on Cardone University. And so what does the U.S. Army know? What does Google know or Microsoft know about training their people, making sure their sales professionals are on point every single day? And what do they know about Cardone University that you're still thinking about? I got to tell you, this is at this price is so stupid. This whole thing is a no-brainer. For $5.47 per day with a 365-day upfront commitment of $19.97, your complete lifestyle will change. You hit the 90-day mark. By the 90-day mark, you're going to be setting your sights so much bigger and so much higher than what you started, that you wrote down as your New Year's resolution on January 31st. You're going to be wondering why you didn't do it sooner. Seriously, if you've been in sales for some time and you're not doing anything to better your skill, to master your trade, you're going to ask yourself, once you start this after 90 days, you're going to ask yourself why you didn't do this years sooner. First time I signed up with Cardone University was in 2015. I had Cardone University for 2 years. That's when I took the deep dive with Grant Cardone. I actually heard Grant Cardone for the first time when I first started in automotive sales in 1998. I was giving a mismatched and worn out cassette tapes. They used to come like a book, like a hardback book of cassette tapes. And I was told to listen to those and say exactly what those things said to the customers. Well, I didn't stick in automotive very long at that point in time. I went back into the grocery business, and it wasn't until, like I said, about 10 years ago, I remember I was walking into a sales meeting and I was handed my paycheck as I was walking in the door. I sat down in the meeting room, facing the whiteboard. I opened up my paycheck. My face, it turned like as red as a fire truck. It turned bright red. I slumped in my chair and I was trying to hide. And the only thing I could think about were my kids, my 2 kids, and how I was going to keep the lights on. And then I heard it. My name was being called out. Hey, Greg! The sales manager was calling on me to tell the entire sales department how many sales I had out for the month, or more like didn't have. And I was embarrassed. I was demotivated, and my performance for the rest of the weekend was shot. It was destroyed. And the worst part is, when I got home that night, my wife, when I was married at the time, she opened the door and she had told me our water had been turned off. And so if you're in this situation, if you're one of the 76% of Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck, if you have no money in savings, or if you don't even have $400 set aside for an emergency fund, you need to get on this and you need to learn how to sell. You need to learn this skill and learn this trade more than anything else that you could throw your money at. If you're spending money on streaming services, I guarantee you, 95% of most streaming services, at least the ones you want, are more than $5.47. That might be a month, but look, this is $5.47 per day for the number one online training platform in the world, where there's been over 1 billion courses taken and over 400,000 active users, plus 4 weeks, 16 sessions of my weekly group Zoom training and coaching. And when buyers are coming to you in your showroom floor, when they're walking into your store or your office, if your customer is objecting to the price of what it is you're selling, if they're objecting to the $5.47 per day, and they're objecting to the fact that they got to come up with a 365-day upfront commitment of $19.97, if they're objecting to the price, it's because we haven't provided them with enough value of what our product and service does. And it may leave your customer wondering if this is going to be a mistake like other decisions they've made in the past. Is this person going to let me down like the last sales guy let me down last time I bought that used car? Justifying price with other inventory. When you move the customer down in price, it's less likely that you're going to sell your product. Look, when you can't close a sale, we should be moving that our customer, our prospective buyer, we should be moving them to something that's more expensive. We should be moving them up to something that has more options or features. Because many times, believe it or not, the buyer would rather pay more and make the right decision to pay less and make a mistake. We've all tried to save a buck, and we've all spent money on something that we settled for, only to find out, gosh, a week down the road, a couple days down the road, 10 minutes down the road, that this product or service just it's not solving my problems, and it's not fitting my needs. And so many times when they're fighting you on the price, the customer's fighting you on the price, it's because they don't see the value in what it is you're selling them. They don't see the value in the insurance policy that you have laid out in front of them. They don't see the value in the automobile that you've just demonstrated to them. They don't see the value in the off-road ATV or the water jet ski or ski-doo that you're trying to sell them. So maybe moving them up in product and showing them something with more features that comes with more protection, that's going to do more for them, they can justify spending the money on. And so the worst thing anybody wants to do is make a bad mistake and spend money on something that's just not going to work out for them. Close with inventory. When salespeople use inventories to close the deal instead of the gross margin. So that's what closing with inventory means. When a salesperson uses inventory to close a deal instead of using one single product's or services gross profit margin. Because salespeople stop sales, customers do not. Salespeople tend to blame a number of factors on other things when they can't close the sale. So ask yourself, instead of blaming that guy, he's a stroke, or he's a jack, or what a waste of time. Boy, I would have been better off eating a sandwich than talking to that yahoo. So you got to ask yourself, what did I do? What did I miss? What did I not uncover when I was having a conversation with that customer? Was I listening enough to actually hear how to sell that customer the product or the service that they came in for? Take responsibility for everything. For any problem, take responsibility for you, not the customer. Okay? It's not the customer's fault that they didn't buy. It's your fault that you didn't have the product or service to show the customer the value in your product or service for them to want to buy it and take it home with them. Heck, they did, most cases, they did 40 hours of research on that one product or service before they even came into your showroom. So you should solve these problems. Never blame a customer for not making a decision. This is what we call blame management. When salespeople blame factors other than themselves, when they are unable to solve their products, when salespeople place blame on factors other than themselves, when they are unable to sell their product. In fact, most salespeople, the average salespeople, who you're trying to be different than, okay, they point the finger in every other direction other than pointing it to themselves on why they didn't close that deal. There was always a factor or a reason. Only if we would have done this differently, only if that would have happened differently, only if this car had this, only if this gas range, only if it had these features on it, they would have bought it today, boss, right? And so we need to stop with that. We need to look to us. We need to look to us and find out what we're doing differently. And so this part is the buyer's money. There's enough money circulating this planet right now for every human being to have $1 million net worth. And that is a true, hard, cold fact. There's enough money on the planet for every single person. There's 8 billion of us to have $1 million, to have $1 million net worth. There is no shortage of money. If you're going to make big money, you need to get your head right about money. I'll say that again. If you're going to make big money, you need to get your head right about making big money. If you start looking for prosperity, abundance, and wealth, you'll see that it exists everywhere. All you got to do is walk out your door. When you leave for work tomorrow morning and you're walking to your car, look all around you. Look at the different cars. Look at your neighbor's front yard. Look at the money they've invested into their front yard. Look at the new roof they just put on their house. Look at the house. Look at the kind of cars they're driving. When you're walking in from the parking garage to your office or your showroom, look at other people on the street. Look what they're wearing. Look what they're driving. Money is everywhere. So if you start looking for prosperity, abundance, and wealth, you'll see it everywhere. You'll see it in areas you've never even seen it before because you've never thought about this before. Money is constantly in circulation. All you have to do is collect it. It's like you're putting out a big net, trying to scoop up all the money in circulation that's just going on by, right? You'll collect money by producing. Money is plentiful, it's abundant, and there's no scarcity of it. The second sale. So once you make a sale, when you've provided you've remained just absolutely more positive than anybody else out there selling your product or service. Okay. You figured out exactly what the customer's buying. Okay. You offered a high level of service. In fact, you've offered a level of service so high that the customer forgot about everything else they're doing, every other product or service they wanted to go out and compare your product or service to. They had the idea of going out and shopping your price to 5 different dealerships' price, but they were at awe. You wowed them when they walked into the door, and you provided such a high level of service they ended up wanting to do business with you. Now it's the time for the second sale, and this is where follow-up really starts. This is where follow-up truly begins, is with the second sale. The second sale purchase, the second purchase supports the rightness of the first decision. Only ask for the second sale once the deal is closed, once the first deal is closed, or the transaction is about to be cashed out. Second money is easier to get than any money you will ever make in your lifetime. The people business, you're not in the X business. You're in the people business, no matter what your job is. Selling is 80% people and 20% product. People buy for reasons other just the benefits of that product. Find what's important to your customer, find out what's important to your customer, and then listen to them. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, and they gave it. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So that's the way we can listen twice as much as we speak. The most interesting person in the world. Be more interested in the customer than in yourself. There's a difference between talking and communication. Figure out what's most important to the customer and then listen. Use open ended questions to show interest in the customer. What's an open ended question? An open ended question would be like if you were selling an automobile and the customer comes in, and before you start asking, hey, what's important to you? Do you want leather or do you want fabric seats? If you just asked they just wanted leather, that's a closed-ended question. You're asking them, giving them options to answer and not pin your customer into a corner. So, hey, are you looking for a light color or are you looking for a dark color? Do you want something bigger than what you have now or something smaller than what you have now? So here we go into the closing. So what's next? In review, your attitude is the center of everything. If your attitude is negative, you're not going to be able to make the sales that you want. You don't get anywhere by disagreeing. Step into their worldview and meet them where they're at. Trust is key. Create trust and credibility using third-party data. Price is rarely the issue. Dig into what the real issues are through using other inventory and take 100% responsibility. You will have a much higher chance of reaching your goals by taking 100% responsibility. And with that, I want to say thank you for going through this course, this 10X Sales Professional course with me on how to maximize every sales opportunity. If you have any questions, I am willing to take your phone call right now at 360-615-2070. You can drop a line in the chat or you can reach out to us by text or by email. If you're in sales and you are struggling with where you're at right now, if you're struggling within your sales process, if you had a situation with a customer today or the day before yesterday and you're still dwelling on that and you need to talk about it, maybe your customer hit you with an objection you'd never heard before and you didn't know how to get around it. Or maybe throughout your sales process, the process that your store has in place, you keep getting up to a certain point, but you always get roadblocked, or you always find a roadblock at some point along that sales process, and the customer always ends up leaving, or more cases than not, they end up leaving your store, your showroom, or your office without your product or service. Call 360-615-2070 right now, and I'm happy to chat with you and answer your questions. I'd love to take some live calls right now during this live stream. And hey, this is the holiday hangover special, right? This is the New Year's hangover special where we're giving you $1,000 off my complete sales mastery package. That's 12 months of Cardone University with over 800 online video courses. Cardone University is the #1 business training platform in the world. They've had over 1 billion courses already taken to date and over 400,000 active users. Okay, you'll learn topics such as cold calling, prospecting. You'll learn closing and negotiating. You'll learn phone sales. You'll learn how to get attention in the market. You'll also get 4 months, that's 16 weekly group Zoom training and coaching sessions. Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, you'll go into a small group setting over a Zoom call. We'll go through one of these 10X Sales Professional courses, just like we did on the How to Maximize Every Sale. We'll probably spend a little bit more time. You'll get a workbook with each individual 10X Sales Professional course, and you'll be able to study that all week long, along with 24/7 access of Cardone University. Cardone University, their 800 online business training courses. They're delivered in bite-sized chunks. It's designed for you to get in, do your daily training, 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes a day, just like you would do when you go to a gym. And then you get out and you go on to work. And for $16.64 a day, with a 120-day upfront commitment, or $5.47 a day with a 365-day upfront commitment, or $19.97, you can get 12 months of the Cardone University plus 4 months of the 10X Sales Professional courses, brought to you by my weekly group Zoom training sessions. Again, the phone number for you to call in is 360-615-2070. If you're in sales now, or you're thinking about getting into a sales career, and you live in Washington State, you live in the western part of Washington State, we're the Hard Knock State. We are actually hiring sales professionals for territories right now in Washington State. I'm looking for a sales professional to work from the Canadian border down to Everett. And I'm looking for a sales professional to handle Everett to Seattle, Seattle to Tacoma, Tacoma to Olympia, and Olympia to Vancouver, and from the coast to the foothills of the Cascade Mountains. If you're in sales, or you're thinking about getting a sales career and you want to make a move, maybe you'd like to get into something that has a little bit more pizzazz into it. Look, we could sell. You can come work for me, and we can sell coaching and training products. Or you can sell Grant Cardone event tickets to where people can see Grant Cardone live. The reality is are you really making enough money? You know, again, 76% of us live paycheck to paycheck, and 64% have no money in savings. 47% of people, US Americans, don't have $400 saved for an emergency fund. In sales, your earning potential is unlimited. You know, if you're exchanging hard-earned work for a meager hourly wage, if you're coming home at the end of the day, your body's just beat from you doing hard, laborious work, and you've had enough of it, get into the sales industry. Give me a call. Sign up for the Complete Sales Mastery, where in 90 days, I guarantee after 90 days, you'll be able to enter into the sales arena. You'll be able to hit the ground running, and you'll be able to produce more right off the bat than the majority of the people working at that sales organization, because you'll have the knowledge of what it takes to be a top sales producer. You'll also go through 4 months of my weekly group coaching, and you'll get the 12 months, 24/7 access of Cardone University. If you have any questions about the Complete Sales Mastery, any questions about maybe a sales position that I'm hiring for, any questions about what you're going through at your current sales job, call us right now at 360-615-2070. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. So with Cardone University, the companies that use Cardone University are as big as Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, Audible, the place where you download your audiobooks, BMW, Ashley Furniture, Salesforce, Ford, Honda, Chrysler. And you may not even be aware of this, but even the U.S. Army trains their people on Cardone University. And so they figured something out about the benefit of daily training and the benefit of having that training delivered in bite-sized chunks versus having a sales trainer come to your boardroom, your conference room once every quarter for 8 hours a day, pumping your people up, and then they leave again. And then 2 days later, the energy drops right back down before where it was before. You can have your machinery oiled every single day. You can have your sales machine oiled and fine-tuned every single day by using Cardone University. And you can get plugged into the weekly group coaching where you'll do a deep dive into one segment, just like how to maximize every sales opportunity that we just went through this evening for $5.47 per day with an upfront 365-day commitment. That's $19.97. Or if you want to look at it, $16.64 a day with an upfront 120-day commitment, it's still $19.97. But that is a savings of $1,000. That's a savings of $1,000 right now. February 1st, it will go back up into price. But this is the New Year's hangover special at the Hard Knock State. And so if you have questions about that, on how to access and how to go about signing up for Cardone University and the 4 months of my weekly virtual group session, you want to go to thehardknockstate.com. You can Google Hard Knock State, will pop right up at the top. Click on Hard Knock State, and the website will open up. Then we scroll down to the very bottom of the page. You'll go through all the classes, events. You'll go through all the product, and then you'll get to where it says the very last in the bottom right-hand corner, complete sales mastery. We'll click on that, and then you'll add to the cart. So once you add it to the cart, then you go ahead and fill out your information. We're going to contact you to set up, get your Cardone University set up, and then we'll give you the link for you to go join us every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time for the weekly group coaching. And again, that is 4 months, 16 sessions, covering one of 9 10X sales professional courses. The courses are the principles of how to be a top producer, how to maximize every sales opportunity, how to win more deals faster with less effort, how to get your customers to say yes, not only part 1, but also part 2. That's a 2-week master class on closing and negotiations. Phone sales mastery, how to master the most valuable tool in your business. And the phone today is still the salesperson's most valuable tool in the business. It is still the best weapon in your arsenal. You'll learn 10X follow-up, simple strategies to double your sales, the 10X sales professional, how to guarantee you earn 10X money, and 10X money principles. $1 million strategies to build indestructible wealth for $19.97 or $5.47 per day with an upfront 365-day commitment. Give us a call, 360-615-2070. Hit us up on the website chat. Leave a comment on the social media site that you're viewing this live stream on. We're here to answer all of your questions. We also offer, just to have everybody know, if $1,997 is pressing the envelope a little bit much for you after the holidays, we also have 3 months. You could sign up for the 3-month Rocket Revenue weekly group coaching session. Sign up for the 3-month Rocket Revenue weekly group coaching session, and that's $1,167. You'll forego the 12 months of Cardone University. You'll have to set that off to the side for another year. You'll forego the workbooks to the 9 10X sales professional courses. We'll still go over those courses, but you just won't be able to follow along with the workbook and refer back to it should you have any questions throughout the week. But that is a great deal too. So for a $1,167 in a small investment, you can get the 90-day group coaching program. Hey, if you just wanted to dabble a toe a little bit, and maybe you wanted to sign up for just 1 month of weekly group coaching, that's $395. Okay. Or you could do the complete sales mastery, 12 months of Cardone University with over 800 online video courses. plus 4 months of that's 16 weekly group Zoom coaching sessions for only $19.97. If you'd rather, maybe the group setting isn't maybe you feel a little awkward sitting on a Zoom call in a group setting. Hey, let's just do the private one-on-one coaching session. We do the private one-on-one coaching session. We could do 6 months for $59.40. If 6 months, maybe you just want to do 90 days of private one-on-one coaching. We could do that for $2,970. And I'll specifically make sure you understand these 9 10x sales professional courses so you can go out there and you can start winning immediately. So what I would do is I would go ahead and go to thehardknockstate.com right now, scroll to the bottom of the website page, click on the Complete Sales Mastery, and sign up and add this program to your cart. We take all major credit cards. We'll contact you within 24 hours to start setting up your Cardone University so you can start taking access and start training as soon as possible. And on Wednesday, we'll send you the link to our weekly group coaching session, Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time for $19.97, $5.47 per day, or $16.64 per day for a 120-day upfront commitment. If you wanted to do the $5.47, we just require a $365 day upfront commitment, or $19.97. If you're sleeping on this tonight, maybe you need to find out which credit card that you're going to be putting this on, and maybe you're going to think about it. Maybe you have some questions. Scroll to the very bottom, the very, very bottom. Hit the contact us, drop us a line. You can reach out to us by email, or you can call us at 360-615-2070. Or hit us up on our website chat. Just hit this little icon right up here in the lower corner. That's the little chat bubble. The representative will pop up and you just reach out to us and ask us any questions. If you have questions and you want to take advantage, maybe you're just strapped right now, and the only thing you could do is watch free live streams and watch free videos on YouTube and strategies on how you could sell more. I get it. You're also more than welcome to take advantage of my free 15-minute sales springboard strategy session. So we can do a 15-minute Zoom call to find out what product, what coaching package, what the next step for you is, and how to get you a little rocket boost in your step and get you out there winning the very next day. 360-615-2070. The chat line is open right now. The website chat is open right now. The email is open right now. And so are the phone lines. 360-615-2070. Here's what a few people had to say about my training. John B. says he relies heavy on Greg's coaching, on my coaching. And whenever he feels like he's struggling, he always falls back on what he's learned. Nick C. says, thanks, Greg. I learned a lot about sales from you. And Mike E. says, you helped me get my phone skills to the next level. Mike E. started out as an automotive sales professional, is now a VP of a large insurance company. And he all started off by learning how to communicate effectively with other people through my coaching and my training. And he is a pro on the phone. And this guy is in a whole different stratosphere than where he was, whole different universe than where he was 5 years ago. So that is the Complete Sales Mastery. Again, that is 12 months of Cardone University with over 800 online video courses in 4 months, 16 sessions of weekly group training for 1997. It's $1,000 savings for my New Year's hangover special. And on January 31st will be the last day that you'll be able to take advantage of this, or until we reach class capacity. And so these courses, every time I put on these courses, I want them to be small groups. Small groups so everybody can have the make sure that they're able to get all their questions answered on what they're learning, to make sure they have a quality understanding of the product that we're delivering. The 10X Sales Professional courses, these 9 courses that we cover in the weekly group training, this information is unbelievable. If you paid attention to tonight's live stream from the beginning, and you went through the how to maximize every sales opportunity, the nuggets of information I delivered on that, tomorrow, if you took good notes on that and went out and implemented that tomorrow, I guarantee you're going to sell a car. And for you just watching 2 hours of this live stream tonight, tomorrow, your customers will be thanking you. Your pocketbook will be thanking you, and you'll be a grin to grin ear driving home. And just when you're driving home with that big cheesy grin to grin smile, just remember the Complete Sales Mastery at thehardknockstate.com. That's 12 months of 24/7 access to over 800 online sales and business training courses, plus 4 months, 16 sessions of my weekly group training. That's thehardknockstate.com. Again, that is thehardknockstate.com. Feel free to give us a call, hit us up on the website chat, drop us a line in the contact us now. But get your Complete Sales Mastery before the class is filled or before the price goes up on January 31st. Again, that's thehardknockstate.com.